Hi everyone, it's Adam7 Fish Tanks, and in today's video I'm going to be providing you an update on the tanks in my room as well as the ones in my girlfriend's, so let's get into this. Right, so let's talk about the Scaper 90. Unfortunately this tank's going to be broke down. We've had way too many issues with parameters and issues with the substrate over the past few months of this setup. It's unfortunate because the tank does look beautiful, but the combating of algae that I've had to do and the amount of maintenance that I've been having to perform on this tank has been way too excessive for how big the canister filter is and how big the tank is. You usually expect a lot less maintenance, but we've had to do more as a result of the substrate. Originally, when I set up the Scaper 90, I had set one up before this, exactly the same kind of layout, but there was a leak going on the front of the tank. In that period of time, I used a lot of my budget and didn't want to have to buy another bag of Aquasoil to reuse. So instead, I used all the substrate that was involved in that setup. As a result, we've had Aquasoil rising up through the bottom of the substrate, dead pockets of sand where it's trapping in ammonia and I'm having to siphon that out and it absolutely stinks. And it's just become more of a burden than anything, and it's unfortunate because the fish are thriving in this tank. As you can see, they're growing in nicely, they're putting on size. There's been a lot of breeding behavior recently too, and yeah, I think we're going to reuse all the fish and inhabitants in this tank once again for the new setup, the new scape. But unfortunately, as I was saying, it's just become a really big task that I just can't keep on top of anymore. So let's move on to the nano tank. So here is the nano tank. The nano tank I'm really impressed with and happy with how it's settled in so quickly. We've had minor algae issues like hair algae here and there, but nothing too challenging that is getting difficult to deal with. All it requires is a little bit of a usage of a toothbrush. We've added a new Targardario into the tank with the one that was already pre-existing in here. And yeah, the one that we've added is another male. It's unfortunate because I took the journey to Preston recently to go and acquire a male, and the fish that was already in here that I 100% was convinced was a female happened to be a sleeper male and has now become the dominant male, showing all its colours, and it is being semi-aggressive with the new Targardario. So yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. However, our little pitbull pleco here is thriving, no issues at all, constantly munching and searching for food, and I absolutely love it. I'd highly recommend keeping more of these fish because they're so personable, because it knows when I'm going to feed it away for it. It'll like suck onto the glass waiting for me to feed it away for it. And as well, obviously we've got the epiphytes that we added to the tank, and they are thriving. I'm really happy because in the past I've struggled with a lot of algae issues with epiphytes like the Bucephalandra, like the Anubias, because they're so slow growing. They always are prone to getting any tough algae because they're not fast enough to outcompete it. The cryptocorn as well is growing in nicely. However, I'm thinking of getting some large cryptocorn to put to the side, just to add that more bushy feel to the tank and more hiding spaces for the Targardario. Thinking of obviously replacing the one that I've just got with a female when I finally am able to obtain a female. But for the time being, there's two males, there's plenty of hiding spaces, and I'll be making sure to keep an eye on any aggressive behavior. So here we are with the beta tank. This tank's maturing really well. These Emerald Rasbora have been really boisterous considering they're meant to be a shyer species. As for the beta Cocaina, no signs of breeding yet. We've been trying to encourage them with frozen food, live food, dried food, water changes, colder temps. I think they're just not sexually mature yet, or they just haven't paired up as of yet. At the moment, the female is the most boisterous one out of the two fish. She seems to be out and about quite a lot, whereas the male has seemed to claim the territory in this area here. He just kind of lurks around in the shadows and is a lot more shyer than the female. As for the zebra otto, it is constantly cleaning. There's not a day where he's not hard at work cleaning the glass, as you can see right now, even just here, mooching away for algae to eat, or detritus or biofilm to munch on. And yeah, the tank's perfectly fine, the parameters are great. We're having a little bit of algae show up here and there, but once again, nothing too difficult that a brush can't get rid of. And yeah, the salvinia, it's growing crazy. We're having to remove that on a daily basis almost. And as for the plants, plant growth is quite slow, but as you probably know from the tank setup, I didn't put any aqua soil into the substrate. I just put root tabs with a tiny bit of leftover like soil, but that was just more for the beneficial bacteria more than anything. My favourite part about this tank is watching the fish use the wood. Like you've just seen there, the female beta likes to swim into this little pocket here, whereas the male will hide in that gap there. And then the other fish like to, go in and out in between and stuff like that. But yeah, this tank's doing great. I'm really happy with it, and I'll keep you updated if there's any breeding going on. Right, so finally, this is the 60 litre. This is the pair of Crebensis suboculatus, and we have 8 pencil fish in here with a bulldog pleco. The tank itself, we've planted some new crypts around, but they don't seem to be doing too great. I'm having issues with plant growth in this tank. Apart from the original Cryptocorn and Bucephalandra that was already in the tank, as well as the Valsinaria, it is sending out runners across the tank, so it is feeding quite well. So I don't know what the issue could be. I have added an Amazon sword in the corner too, which is one of the oldest plants I've had in the hobby. I think the biggest issue with this tank at the moment is potentially the lighting. Not a lot of plants are surviving, they're just kind of struggling to grow. And yeah, I'm probably going to try and get a replacement light at some point in the near future. As for the Crebensis, I'd like them to partner up and pair up, and there's been signs of breeding between the two, but I just don't think the male is accepting the female. It's unfortunate because she seems to be displaying to him, showing the colours when she's around him, and he's just not interested in the slightest. So we're going to try and up the high quality foods. We're going to do colder water changes, see if that can trigger anything. But we're going to give this a lot more time, and hopefully we can get some fry in our hands and document that. But yeah, that was just our little tour / update of the tanks that I have at the moment. We're hoping to do quite a few upgrades with each of them, try and get some breeding going on. And of course, again, the big project is changing up that Scaper 90. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for further updates with the tanks and the channel itself. Until next time, thanks for watching. See you later. Peace.